reflection is the mirror of growth. Most people rush from one week to the next without ever stopping to ask themselves what truly happened. But wisdom is not built in the doing, it is built in the looking back. On Sunday, you must slow down and review your past 7 days. Ask yourself simple but profound questions. Where did I show discipline? Where did I give in to distraction? Where did I act from strength? And where did I let weakness lead me? By asking, you begin to see, and by seeing, you begin to change. Reflection requires honesty, not the kind of honesty that judges and condemns, but the kind that illuminates. You are not here to punish yourself for mistakes. You are here to learn from them. Imagine a warrior polishing his blade after battle. He does not curse the scratches. He studies them, understands how they appeared, and sharpens his weapon for the next fight. In the same way, you must study your week, not with shame, but with clarity. One of the most powerful tools for reflection is writing. Sit down with a notebook on Sunday and pour your thoughts onto paper. Do not censor, do not filter, just write. Write about your victories, your struggles, your emotions, your distractions, your energy. When you capture your week in words, you release what no longer serves you and discover patterns that were invisible before. The page becomes your teacher, showing you who you were and pointing to who you can become. Reflection also requires balance. It is easy to focus only on what went wrong, but this creates discouragement. It is equally easy to focus only on what went right, but this creates blind spots. True reflection honors both. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small, because they remind you of your strength. Acknowledge the losses, no matter how painful, because they remind you of your lessons. Together, they form the complete picture of growth. When you make reflection a sacred part of your Sunday, you begin to carry awareness into every other day. You notice how you speak, how you act, how you think. You see yourself with clarity rather than illusion. And this clarity is the foundation of success, because you cannot master what you refuse to face. Most people enter Monday unprepared, and because of that, they are immediately swept away by the chaos of the world. Emails, messages, responsibilities, and distractions begin to control their time, instead of them controlling their time. Planning on Sunday is your shield against this chaos. It is the moment where you choose the direction of your week before the noise of life chooses it for you. Without planning, you drift. With planning, you direct. Planning with intention is not just about filling a calendar with tasks. It is about aligning your actions with your deepest priorities. Anyone can write a to-do list, but very few take the time to ask, what really matters this week? That question separates the busy from the productive, the scattered from the focused. Your Sunday plan should not only include meetings and deadlines, but also the practices that strengthen you. Exercise, learning, rest, and time with loved ones. True planning considers the whole self, not just the work self. The power of planning lies in clarity. When you decide on Sunday what matters most, you enter Monday with a clear mind. There is no confusion about what deserves your energy and what can be ignored. Imagine a river. Without boundaries, the water spreads everywhere and loses its force. But when given a clear channel, that same water becomes powerful enough to generate energy. Planning is the channel that focuses your time, and intention is the current that carries you forward. A practical way to plan with intention is to set 3 core priorities for the week. These are not small tasks like sending an email or cleaning a drawer. These are the big pillars of progress. The actions that, if completed, will move your life forward in a meaningful way. Write them down, review them each day, and measure your week by how close you come to fulfilling them. When you plan with such clarity, distractions lose their power because you already know where your energy belongs. Finally, planning with intention requires discipline to honor the plan once it is made. A written plan without action is just ink on paper. Every morning, return to the vision you created on Sunday and remind yourself, this is my path. This is what matters. By doing so, you strengthen your focus, you sharpen your discipline, and you live your week by design rather than by default. Your environment is a silent teacher. It shapes your energy, influences your focus, and often determines whether your mind feels heavy or light. Many people underestimate this truth. A cluttered room creates a cluttered mind. When your surroundings are messy, your thoughts scatter. When your environment is clean, your thoughts align. This is why Sunday is the perfect day to reset your space, because as you clear the physical clutter, you begin to clear the mental clutter as well. Think of your home, your desk, your digital devices as mirrors of your inner state. If they are overflowing, chaotic, and disorganized, chances are your mind is carrying the same weight. But when you organize, when you wipe away the dust, when you delete the unnecessary, you experience a sense of lightness that is not only external, but deeply internal. This is why cleansing your environment is not just about neatness. It is about creating mental clarity, a foundation for creativity and focus. The act of cleaning can itself become a meditation. As you fold clothes, arrange books, or empty drawers, you are not only bringing order to objects, you are bringing order to your thoughts. The rhythm of movement becomes calming. The sight of cleared space becomes freeing. This simple practice transforms chaos into calmness. You realize that by changing your environment, you are also changing your inner state. And every Sunday, this small ritual becomes a reset for the week ahead. In the digital world, clutter hides just as easily. Endless files, unread emails, distracting apps, all of these quietly drain your focus. Use Sunday not only to clean the physical, but also the digital. Delete what you no longer need. Organize your folders. Silence the notifications that steal your attention. By doing this, you create a mental sanctuary where your energy is no longer scattered, but preserved for the things that truly matter. When your space is clean and your environment is in order, you will notice a shift in your energy. You breathe more freely, you think more clearly, and you act with greater purpose. The mind no longer fights against the noise of clutter. It finds peace in simplicity, and in that peace, focus is born. Every time you cleanse your space on Sunday, you prepare your mind for strength, discipline, and the clarity to conquer the week ahead. The state of your surroundings is a reflection of the state of your mind. If your room, your desk, or your living space is cluttered, your thoughts will mirror that chaos. On the other hand, when your environment is orderly, your mind finds it easier to settle into focus and clarity. This is why Sundays should not pass without intentionally cleansing the space around you. It is not about perfection or spotless beauty. It is about creating an environment that supports your best self. Consider how heavy it feels to wake up on Monday morning surrounded by scattered clothes, unwashed dishes, or a desk buried in papers. Without even realizing it, that visual noise begins to whisper into your mind. You are behind. You are unprepared. But when you walk into a clean and organized space, the opposite happens. You feel calm, you feel in control, and you step into the week with quiet confidence. Your environment, whether messy or clean, always speaks to you, so choose the message it sends. Cleansing your space on Sunday is also a symbolic act of release. Each piece of clutter represents a piece of unfinished energy, a reminder of tasks not completed, of attention not given. By clearing it away, you free yourself from the silent weight of yesterday. When you fold away the old, you make room for the new. This ritual of letting go teaches you an important lesson. You cannot welcome clarity into your life while holding on to chaos. Even your digital world must not be ignored. A phone full of useless notifications, files stacked without order, or a laptop crowded with unneeded tabs. These are modern forms of clutter that quietly steal your focus. Use Sunday to reset these too. Delete what drains your attention, organize what matters, and silence what distracts. A clean digital space supports a clean mental space, and together they create the conditions for sharper focus and stronger productivity. The discipline of cleansing your environment is not about controlling things. It is about freeing your mind. Every is the number R. Every time you bring order to your surroundings, you remind yourself that you are capable of creating order within. It is a simple but powerful truth. The clearer the space around you, the clearer the path ahead. And when you begin the week surrounded by simplicity, your mind becomes sharper, your energy more centered, and your focus unshakable. The body is the vessel that carries your mind and spirit through every challenge of the week. Yet many people neglect it, pushing it to the side in pursuit of deadlines, tasks, and distractions. By the time Monday comes, they are already running on low energy, relying on quick fixes that weaken them further. Sunday must become the day you consciously prepare your body, because when the body is strong and nourished, the mind becomes sharper, the emotions steadier, and the spirit more resilient. Food is not just fuel, it is energy, discipline, and preparation disguised in daily choices. If you leave your meals to chance during the week, that is the number R, you will find yourself grabbing whatever is convenient rather than what is nourishing. On Sunday, take time to plan or prepare the foods that will sustain you. Cut fruits, cook balanced meals, or simply create a list of healthy options you can rely on. This small act of preparation prevents the weak decisions of a tired weekday from becoming your default. Nourishment is not only about what you eat, it is also about how you move. Use Sunday as a reminder to reconnect with your body. Stretch, go for a walk, practice breathing, or engage in an activity that brings you into your physical self. Movement awakens the body, improves circulation, and clears stagnant energy. It also sends a powerful message. I respect this vessel. I care for it. I prepare it for the battles of the week. When the body is honored, it returns the favor with energy, endurance, and focus. Rest is another form of nourishment, often overlooked. Many people treat Sunday as a final rush to squeeze in distractions, entertainment, or unfinished tasks. But true nourishment comes when you give your body the chance to recharge deeply. Sleep early, drink water, stretch before bed. These simple rituals prepare you to enter the new week with strength instead of exhaustion. Resting is not laziness, it is strategy. A well-rested body becomes a weapon, while a neglected one becomes a burden. That is the number R, that you dedicate Sunday to nourishing your body. You are not just caring for today, you are investing in tomorrow. The choices you make now ripple into every meeting, every decision, every challenge of the coming days. A nourished body creates a disciplined mind, and a disciplined mind creates a successful life. This is why you must treat Sunday as a sacred day of preparation, not only for your goals, but for the body that will carry you toward them. In a world that glorifies constant movement, many forget that strength is not only built in the hours of work, but also in the moments of rest. Sunday is the day to remind yourself that recovery is not weakness, it is wisdom. Just as a warrior sharpens his sword before battle, you must sharpen your body and mind by giving them time to breathe. Rest is not the absence of discipline, it is the completion of it. Without deliberate rest, even the strongest drive eventually burns out. Rest must be intentional, not accidental. Falling into bed exhausted or spending hours scrolling through distractions is not true rest. It is escape. True rest is chosen with awareness. It may mean taking a quiet walk in nature, practicing meditation, enjoying silence, or simply allowing your body to sleep without guilt. When you rest with purpose, you are not wasting time. You are refueling time. You are preparing yourself to step into Monday not half empty, but fully charged. The mind, like the body, needs moments of stillness. If you run endlessly from one task to another, your thoughts grow restless, scattered, and clouded. But when you pause, when you allow stillness to wash over you, clarity begins to rise. Resting the mind on Sunday is like clearing the fog from a window. You see your week ahead with sharpness and vision. Without that clarity, you are not working with focus. You are simply moving without direction. Rest also connects you back to yourself. During the week, you give so much to others, your energy, your focus, your time, that you often forget to give to your own being. Sunday is the day to return to your center. Read, write, stretch, or simply sit in silence with your thoughts. These small moments of rest are acts of self-respect, reminding you that before you can serve the world, you must first restore yourself. When you learn to rest as deeply as you work, you discover balance. You realize that true productivity is not measured by how much you push, but by how well you recover. The athlete who trains without rest collapses, the mind that works without pause crumbles. But the one who knows when to push and when to pause becomes unstoppable. Sunday is your training ground for this balance. Work with intensity, rest with depth, and you will enter each week renewed, unshakable, and ready. While the body needs nourishment and the mind needs focus, the soul requires its own form of food. Too often, people spend their entire week feeding deadlines, responsibilities, and obligations while starving the deeper part of themselves, the part that craves meaning, peace, and connection. Sunday is the sacred opportunity to turn inward, to feed what cannot be measured by productivity, charts, or deadlines. Feeding the soul is not optional, it is essential, for without it, life becomes empty noise instead of purposeful living. The soul is nourished by stillness, by practices that remind you of who you are beyond your roles and achievements. This could be time spent in prayer, meditation, or silence. It could be journaling your deepest thoughts or practicing gratitude for the unseen blessings of your life. In these quiet moments, you reconnect with your essence, the part of you untouched by the chaos of the world. Just as a flame needs oxygen to burn brightly, the soul needs stillness to keep its light alive. Nature has always been a great teacher of the soul. A walk beneath the sky, the sound of flowing water, the sight of trees standing tall. These experiences remind you of the vastness of life and the smallness of your worries. When you step outside on Sunday and allow nature to speak, you realize that clarity does not always come from doing more, but from remembering that you are part of something greater. Feeding the soul through nature humbles the ego and strengthens the spirit. Creativity is another form of soul food. Reading a book that expands your mind, listening to music that stirs your emotions, or creating something with your own hands. All of these awaken parts of you that routine often numbs. When you give yourself permission to create or to be inspired, you allow your soul to breathe. These moments may feel small, but they carry profound power, for they remind you that life is not only about surviving the week, but about experiencing it fully. Above all, feeding the soul is about connection. Connection to yourself, to others, and to something higher than you. Sunday is the time to reach out to loved ones, to share presence instead of just words, to sit with them in laughter or silence. It is also the time to connect with your higher purpose, to ask not just what you must do, but why you are here at all. When you feed the soul in these ways, you awaken a strength within that no challenge of the coming week can take away. Goals are about what you want to achieve, but intentions are about how you want to live. Many people set goals for the week. Finish a project, meet a deadline, exercise 3 times, or save a certain amount of money. These are important, but they only tell you what to do. Intentions, on the other hand, shape who you are while you are doing it. They guide your attitude, your energy, and your presence. Without intentions, even if you achieve all your goals, you may still feel empty or restless. On Sunday, after writing down your tasks and priorities, take a moment to ask yourself, how do I want to show up this week? Perhaps you want to move with patience, to remain calm under stress, or to choose gratitude no matter the situation. These intentions become like invisible threads weaving through your days. They influence how you speak, how you act, and how you respond. While goals create direction, intentions create character. Both are necessary, but without intention, goals can leave you feeling mechanical and disconnected. Intentions also have the power to bring peace. A week filled with goals alone can feel like a battlefield, constantly striving, constantly measuring, constantly pushing. But when you set intentions, you remind yourself that life is more than boxes to tick. You bring meaning into the ordinary. For example, instead of only saying, I will finish my work on time, you may say, I will finish my work on time with focus and joy. The task is the same, but the experience is completely transformed. The beauty of intentions is that they can guide you even when circumstances change. Goals may sometimes fail. You may not hit the target. You may miss the deadline. But intentions never fail because they are about how you choose to live in each moment. You may not complete everything you set out to do, but if you lived with patience, with focus, with compassion, you still carried success within you. Intentions give you stability when outcomes are uncertain. When you end your Sunday by setting intentions, you are programming your inner compass. Every challenge, every conversation, every task in the week ahead will be influenced by the direction you chose. Instead of reacting to life, you begin responding with purpose. Goals show the destination, but intentions define the journey. And when both are aligned, success is no longer just about what you achieve. It becomes about the person you become along the way. Energy is the most valuable currency you carry into the week. Time alone does not determine success, What matters is the quality of the energy you bring into each hour. If your energy is drained by distractions, negativity, or meaningless activities, even a full schedule will leave you with little to show. But if your energy is protected and directed with intention, even fewer hours can produce extraordinary results. Sunday is the day to take control of this currency, to decide where your energy will flow and where it will not. Protecting your energy begins with awareness of what drains you. Notice the habits, people, and activities that leave you feeling heavy, distracted, or restless. Social media that steals hours, conversations that bring negativity, or environments filled with noise. These are silent thieves. On Sunday, reflect on these energy leaks and make a conscious decision to reduce or remove them in the week ahead. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary because without it, you cannot give your best to anything or anyone. Equally important is knowing what renews your energy. Certain practices fill your spirit with strength. Exercise, meaningful conversations, meditation, reading, or even simple silence. Use Sunday to identify these sources of renewal and schedule them into your week. Too often, people wait until they are exhausted before they think about recovery. But by then, the damage is already done. Protecting your energy means making recovery a priority, not an afterthought. Boundaries are one of the strongest tools for energy protection. Without boundaries, your energy is scattered across commitments that do not serve your growth. On Sunday, decide where you will draw the line in the week ahead. Perhaps you will limit time with people who drain you. Perhaps you will set hours for focused work without interruption. Perhaps you will say no to distractions disguised as opportunities. Every boundary you set is a shield that preserves your energy for what truly matters. When you learn to protect your energy, you move through the week with strength and clarity instead of fatigue and confusion. You no longer give away your power to every demand, every distraction, every noise around you. Instead, you choose where your energy flows, and in that choice lies your freedom. Protecting your energy on Sunday means stepping into Monday already centered, already strong, and already prepared to meet the week on your terms.